I know I'm a bit late in talking about this show, but I've been thinking about it recently and I just wanted to get my thoughts out about it. But before I get into my thoughts, let's get into the story real quick. Just a quick refresher. It's been a few months since the events of Sonic 2, and Knuckles is trying to adjust to his new life on Earth, basically. But he's constantly in the way of the warrior, always training and ready for the next battle, more or less. Sonic tells him to try to make himself feel more at home, and he does in a scene that's, I'll be honest, it's pretty funny. And then when Maddie grounds him, he basically wants guidance to what his next purpose is. So he's visited by the ghost of his former chief, Patricomac, played by Christopher Lloyd, who tells him that it's time for him to train an apprentice in the ways of the Echidna. And he tells him that Wade is the ideal candidate as he's seeking to compete in a tournament, and that even though he doesn't have a lot going for him, he has a good heart. So they begin their journey to Reno for this tournament, and of course these two shady gun agents are trying to kidnap Knuckles and sell him off to a scientist who has his own evil ideas. You get the general idea. Now, saying all this out loud, it doesn't sound that bad, and if anything, if someone had presented me with the basic bullet points of the show, I would be on board for it. And I was on board for it. I was looking forward to this show. I thought it'd be fun. And yeah, the opinions on this show seem pretty split. There are times when I've seen people say, oh, no, the show's actually pretty good. And then some people think it's really terrible. And usually I end up somewhere in the middle whenever something is like really divisive. But not here, man. I'm sorry to say I really didn't care for the show by the end of it. But before I get into all the negative stuff, I will get into the positives because there are a couple. The first major one is I like that they do give Wade a bit more character here. In the other two movies, he honestly just came across like another funny side character just with nothing funny to say. And I don't blame Adam Pally, the guy who plays Wade, but just the script was just never in his favor. Like they just gave him just the dumbest lines and all that kind of stuff. But here, he is a bit more humanized, and we do feel sympathy for him because of what he's going through. He's tired of people always looking down at him and tired of feeling underused and wants a chance to prove himself. And I do like stories like that. If anything, what this show does accomplish is I do appreciate Wade a little more as a character, so looking back, I can understand where he's coming from. And then after that, the action's pretty good. It gives you all the action you want out of this kind of franchise, and it does deliver in that regard, even though the action is pretty quick. But aside from those things, though, the show doesn't have much else going for it. And the main problem is the show is about Wade and not Knuckles. That's the biggest problem. It's not 50-50, it's more like 80-20. 80% Wade, 20% Knuckles. So even though I appreciate the depth we get with Wade, we get basically nothing with Knuckles. So then it gets to this final battle where they're fighting the villain, and Wade's like, Knuckles, this is your home, and you belong here, and all this stuff. And it is just so not earned, because we spend no time with Knuckles at all. There are also other characters that just don't really work in this, like Wade's sister, who comes across just really annoying. And she's supposed to be this FBI agent, but she acts more like a trainee than a full agent. And I don't understand why they think we need stuff like this in shows like these. It just doesn't make any sense. They'll also have moments instead of character development. We'll have a rock musical number dedicated to showing where Knuckles gets his strength from, and it's just as needlessly pointless as the Peaches song from the Mario movie. It's just so bonkers and dumb, and I just hated it so much. This just seems like a classic example of trying to do too many different things, or maybe they wanted it to be more about Knuckles, but they said, well, we're also making Sonic 3, so save some money by animating him less. I have no idea. I really wanted to like this more, but for the things that do work in it, which are only a couple, I'll give this a C. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen by any means, but I'm not going to watch it again. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my review, and I'll see you next time.